the most mysterious artifacts you won't believe.
Hey guys, this is American Eye again, and I'm bringing you another cool video.
Human history is a long and winding story with many forgotten moments in between. Every once in a while, we uncover a piece of history that seems to tell us some unknown detail about our past ancestors. However, many of these artifacts are shrouded in mystery, and these puzzles need to be solved. We have collected a few of these mystical puzzles for you. From ancient animal bones to figurines of unknown purposes, here are the most mysterious artifacts you won't believe. Number 15. The Quipu of Corral. 5,000 years ago, there was a city known as the Sacred City of Corral. This metropolis was home to one of the oldest civilizations in North America. Many artifacts representing the advanced technology present at the time have been uncovered, including a sort of recording device called a quipu. The quipu was used to record data, different sorts of records, tax obligations, calendars, and even census records. The different color of fibers and knots would denote different kinds of data. This sort of technology at the time is almost shocking. Number 14. Neolithic female. Stanford archaeologists led a team that found an extremely rare 8,000-year-old limestone figurine of a woman at a site in central Turkey in September. Experts speculate that the half-foot-tall sculpture depicts either a fertility goddess or a prominent elderly woman at the time. The detail with which ancient people crafted the figurine would have required very precise tools. This level of craftsmanship isn't usually associated with figurines from this place or period, and would have required small instruments to achieve. Thousands of years of weathering have erased any clues as to how ancient people made the piece. Number 13. Hammonton Trove. Native Americans were very active in the area that is now New Jersey before Europeans came. While modern society often overlooks this fact, construction workers in Camden recently dug up a wonderful reminder of the state's ancient past. When teams started digging in early 2015 at the spot that will soon be called the Holtec International Site, they expected to find debris from the New York Shipbuilding Corporation or pieces of employee housing that once occupied the space. Instead, archaeologists were shocked to discover Native American artifacts that date back to 1400 BC. By the time the dig concluded this February, the team had unearthed some 1,300 pieces of arrowheads and remnants of the ancient Earths. Number 12. Nebra Sky Disk. This 3,600-year-old bronze disc is an extraordinary piece of art that was so detailed and in such good condition, many believe it to be a forgery. However, after scientific analysis, it was revealed to be authentic. It represents a crude map of stars, including the sun and the moon, and would actually be used as an astronomical measurement tool. It's unclear how these prehistoric people attained such knowledge to create a tool like this. Number 11. The Thinking Man. Just discovered last month, this 3,800-year-old jug was unearthed in the final day of a dig that was taking place in the suburbs of Tel Aviv. This piece of pottery is a lot like others from the period that archaeologists refer to as the Middle Bronze Age. However, a 7-inch tall statue sat on top of the jug that was quite unique and a baffling find for the team. The man sits on top of the jar in a pondering pose. Originally, the piece was found broken into several pieces and had to be put back together. Number 10. The Antikythera Mechanism. Divers discovered a mysterious mechanism amongst the underwater ruins of an ancient shipwreck off the shores of a Greek island in 1901. The artifact, which they dubbed the Antikythera Mechanism, was corroded and damaged. It also had a gear wheel and markings inscribed that no one could decipher. For years, the machine lay forgotten in museum storage. Finally, the device was re-examined by scientists, and its complexity left them speechless. Recently, divers with state-of-the-art technology explored the shipwreck again and found human remains that include a partial skull with teeth, 2 thigh bones, 2 arm bones, and ribs. The bones are 2,000 years old and are remarkably well preserved. Scientists even hope to extract DNA from the petrous bone, a bone behind the ear that retains DNA exceptionally well. For now, the find only deepens the mystery behind the Antikythera Mechanism. Number 9. Florida's oldest knife. Divers found a stone knife and other artifacts near Tallahassee, Florida earlier this year that will likely change our vision of the past. Experts date the objects recovered to be around 14,500 years ago. This would make it the oldest evidence of humans being in the southeastern United States ever found by a long shot. Previously, the earliest recorded evidence of man's presence in the area went as far back as 13,000 years ago. Experts hope that the find will also yield a better understanding of Native American culture in the area. Number 8. The Cypress Mosaic. Archaeologists who were digging in Cypress were shocked to unearth a beautiful 36-foot-long mosaic depicting an ancient chariot race. The artifact was discovered just outside of Nicosia and is one of only 7 of its kind ever found on Earth. Experts aren't sure, but feel that a wealthy individual owned the island of Cyprus when it was under Roman rule, and that the floor is part of a villa. Cyprus was a prosperous area with an abundance of copper and timber of forests that thrived in the area. A farmer first dug up a small part of the floor in 1938, and the team currently working at the site suspects that there is more floor to unearth. Number 7. Bulgarian gold bead. Found amongst an ancient settlement in southern Bulgaria, this tiny gold bead weighs 15 centigrams and is only 1/8 of an inch wide. It may be minuscule, but it dates back to 4,500 to 4,600 BC. This makes it the oldest processed gold ever discovered. The ancient town that archaeologists found the bead in predates Sumer by 1,000 years. Experts believe that settlers made the bead at this location, which a hostile tribe invaded and destroyed sometime around 4,100 BC. Before this discovery, the oldest known processed gold was also discovered in Bulgaria in the city of Varna in 1972. Number 6. Matthew's Tooth. Hurricane Matthew was a very destructive Category 5 hurricane that hit the southeastern United States from late September to early October. It also unearthed an extremely rare treasure that a couple stumbled upon while walking down North Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. Nat and Peggy Campbell found a massive shark tooth that is millions of years old. The tooth is approximately the size of a human hand and once belonged to a megalodon, a humongous prehistoric shark that can grow up to be about 60 feet long. It's also one of the biggest sharks known to exist on the planet. Number 5. Britain's Pompeii. A wealth of remarkable artifacts has been dug out of the ground in England's Cambridgeshire Fens in the last year. The excavation has yielded a trove of artifacts unlike any seen in the area before. Experts have dubbed it as Britain's Pompeii because of how well preserved many of the artifacts are. Much like Pompeii, this Bronze Age community was destroyed suddenly and violently by a fire 3,000 years ago. This pretty much entombed and preserved the settlement, and it gives experts an unprecedented and practically unobstructed view of the past. Archaeologists unearthed a perfectly preserved wheel along with thousands of pieces of burnt timber, 80 or so pieces of textile fragment, and 5 roundhouses. Unlike Pompeii, there were no skeletons found, just a trophy skull that appeared to hang outside one of the homes. Experts aren't sure what caused the fire, but hope that the examination of the timber will lead to an answer. Number 4. The Ubaid Lizard. When archaeologists were excavating the Tel al-Ubaid site in Iraq almost 100 years ago, they uncovered something truly strange. A humanoid figure with lizard-like characteristics. The 7,000-year-old artifacts were small statuettes with human bodies and lizard-like faces, as well as elongated legs. Either these artifacts are proof of some sort of actual lizard people roaming the earth thousands of years ago, or they are evidence of human abilities to exercise fantastic imagination and create made-up images that do not actually occur in real life at all. Or do they? Number 3. Venus figurines. That is the collective name of prehistoric statuettes that were made during the Paleolithic era all throughout Europe. More than 200 of these figurines have been uncovered, dating back to 30,000 to 10,000 BC. There's a great load of mystery surrounding these figures. No one really knows why they were made or how they were so widespread. Some believe that they are fertility figures meant to honor the seemingly miraculous act of birth. This might explain their exaggerated proportions. However, others believe that they are actually self-portraits made by women who are looking down at their own bodies as a reference. The forced perspective of staring down at yourself would explain the exaggerated figures as well. Number 2. The White City. A team excavating a site in the middle of the jungles of Honduras unearthed a cache of shocking and incredibly rare stone sculptures. These come from a mysterious, ancient culture amongst the ruins of the old city. The city is one of a network of communities on Honduras that experts believe to belong to a civilization of humans that thrived in the area long ago. Experts don't know much about this civilization, and the ancient city that the team was excavating appears to have been untouched since the people mysteriously abandoned 1,000 years ago. And number 1. Threeprong Rock. A man in New Mexico once stumbled upon this very strange material as he was taking a hike. A rock with what seemed to have a piece of metal with 3 prongs embedded inside. A man claimed that the rock was 100,000 years old, yet seemed to have a modern outlet to plug inside. This proved that ancient people seem to have access to modern technology. While many don't believe this man's claims, others see it as a sign of extraterrestrial life contacting us here on Earth. What do you believe?
Wow, now that was interesting. You know what else is interesting? My videos on American Eye. Be sure to check it out by clicking on these links over here. I'll see you next time.